Welcome to the Nest Recap. Week 1 saw a lot of action, kind of. Big names had mid-weeks, mid-names had big weeks, and then there was Daniel Jones, who was who we thought he was, but the Cowboys defense let one off the hook. All that and more, let's get into the games. Ashley beat Drake 111-102. Going into the Sunday night game, Drake thought he had a chance, but then the Giants did Giants things and Tony Pollard scored 2 touchdowns to give Ashley the Week 1 victory. Joe Burrow had the worst week of any starting quarterback, 82 passing yards, yikes. Bengals started slow last year as well though. You have to think that the Burrow and Chase combo won't put up under 12 combined points every week. Meanwhile, my prediction that Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, and Tony Pollard would put on a show didn't quite work out, but just as everybody expected, Michael Pittman Jr. put on a show to carry the Dak Street Boys. This game saw a combined 58 points from both teams' kickers and defenses. Wow. San Francisco and Philadelphia's defense are going to be good, but seriously, wow. I'm not sure that's going to be sustainable. Heather beat Jennifer 104-95. Heather led this one start to finish. Christian McCaffrey looked like a top of the first round pick with 152 rushing yards. He scored 26 points this week without scoring a touchdown. This team had 4 starters score under 10 points and she still won. Yardage totals weren't bad from Chris Olave, CeeDee Lamb, and Nick Chubb, but Jennifer's team only combined for 1 touchdown this week. 4 points for a passing touchdown from Justin Fields. It's really hard to win games when your team doesn't get in the end zone. Justin Herbert was the highest scoring quarterback in the Nest League this week, with 228 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. I'm chalking this up to Week 1 rust from the rest of the league. Juan beat Jeff 136-119. Juan's team's kicker and defense outscored Jeff's kicker and defense 50-9. Stephon Diggs, Bijan Robinson, and Aaron Jones all went off for Juan, but the real MVP this week was the Dallas defense. I talked crap about Daniel Jones, but I didn't take into account him being awful would be offset by Dallas taking advantage of his ineptitude. For Jeff, Tyreek Hill looked like he was going to pull this one out all on his own. I'd like to see a graph at the end of the year to see how many teams lose with the player scoring 40-plus points. Also, J.K. Dobbins is out. It means Jeff has 1 healthy running back. Time to bombard him with iffy trade proposals. April beat Taylor 104-102. No Travis Kelce? No problem. I expected a shootout between Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. Instead, we got less than 25 points between the two of them. In fact, both teams' backup quarterbacks outscored their starters by a lot. For April, Brandon Ayuk went off. Great teams get big games out of middling players, I guess. Otherwise, it's pretty week from April. When she gets Travis Kelce back, they'll look a lot scarier, but for now, they'll rely on the Ayuks and Cam Akers of the world. For Taylor, we have to ask the question, what happened to Josh Allen? It's really hard to win with 4 turnovers. 6 players put up double-digit points, but Austin Eckler was the only one I'd really categorize as having a big day. In what turned out to be the closest game of the week, starting the Broncos defense instead of the Jets is a retrospective choice Taylor wishes that he had over. And finally, Caitlin beat Charles 116-106. As is tradition. Pretty sure I'm 0-3 against Caitlin now all time. Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley pulled off the perfect QB wide receiver combo, combining for 42 points. Amon-Ra St. Brown, look this guy up. His dad is actually kind of crazy. Had a really good day as well. For me, Mahomes had a decent day, but the wide receivers dropping everything turned out to be a killer. Cooper Kupp is out at least 4 weeks. At least Breece Hall had a good week while sitting on my bench. Whatever. Next. Not much else to say here. The better team won. The Mongoose are already in mid-season shambles. Finally, let's look ahead and do picks for weeks 2. Coach Creasy rallies the troops to avoid going 0-2. I'll take Charles over Jennifer. I'll take Drake over Taylor. Joe Burrow won't be the worst quarterback in the league 2 weeks in a row, and if Eckler is hurt, it would be really tough for Taylor to win. Give me Heather over Jeff. McCaffrey looks like a man on a mission this year. If Travis Kelce comes back, I might change my mind, but right now I like Juan to beat April. And finally, I'll go Ashley over Caitlin. I need at least 1 more week before I believe that Calvin Ridley is a legit number 1 wide receiver. That's all for this week's Nest Recap. I'm Charles Creasy, and good night.